Okay, welcome to Comfort Having number two. Despite what I said in the prep show, we are going to do the Indigenous Erasure video first because that's not going to take too long. It is where I can pour my heart out into it and bring my feelings versus everything else. But factually speaking, we're going to talk about the facts first. For about the last 3.5 to 4 months, there has been a small group of black people saying that Native Americans are not the original Native Americans and that the black people of the world is. And so we're gonna unpack that before I go into that whole next video, because the next video is probably be important, but this video is more important to me versus the next video. One, there are 10 times more people of African descent in the country on the continent of Africa in every country in Africa. So to all you people watching, whoever the pseudo give two fuck scientist is telling y'all that the slave trade worked in reverse, that is bullshit. I'm going to explain why that is complete and utter bullshit. So let's look at the demographic of black people in America. And I'm including mixed people, which means me too. We are 1 to 5% of the population. 1 to 5, from city to city, from state to state. There is not that many black people in America. Alright? Where there's 3 times as many black people in Africa as there is in America. Which would mean they would have had to take every person who was black during the slavery time out of America. Every person. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. They would have had to take everybody who was black out of America to have that much diversity and not these motherfuckers not all be having incest sex to have babies in Africa for all of the amount of people that are in Africa. Alright? Now, slavery, granted, might have only been on the East Coast, so they say, but there's 2 ways to Africa from America. You can go west or you can go east. East is probably going to be a shorter trip since they say most people are West African, which means you're on the west side of Africa, which means you're closer to South America coming west than going east. If you go east of fucking Africa, you're going to hit the Pacific Ocean and then you're going to have to go through the Hawaiian Islands and all that other shit. But if you go west, you're going to go to the Atlantic Ocean and you are going to hit the east coast of America. Just so y'all don't understand your demographics, let me point that out for you. East, Atlantic Ocean. From Africa, your closest target would be South America. Alright? West, from Africa, your closest target would be the Samoan Islands, the Philippine Islands, Tahiti, etc., until you hit Hawaii. And then also South America. And also North America, which means you would be in the California areas. Alright? So that you guys got that completely and honestly straight, which a lot of you jackasses don't because you're running around, oh, Native Americans are not the real Native Americans. You guys are from fucking Siberia. You guys can suck a popsicle. A nice chocolate one. Without the broomstick in the middle. Any freaking how. The bottom line is the diversity of Americans and the diversity of Africans, population-wise, black people in America is this much. The Africans is this much. So you're gonna tell me they would have wiped us out if Americans were the original Africans. Alright? And this goes to the same people who are going around hollering that black people are gods. Okay, we're gonna fix that problem right now. If you were gods, in the full sense of the word gods, we would have never been slaves. We would have never been conquered. We would outnumber everyone because of the fact that we have supernatural powers and we'd be able to shoot lightning and things out of our hands. We'd be able to manipulate people, use the force. Black people are not gods. Africans are not gods. No human being on earth is a god. You're not a ninth ether being. There is no motherfucking Stargate in the goddamn Grand Canyon, and the Mississippi River is not the Nile. So if you are watching this and you come from that camp, Get a clue. If the slave trade worked in reverse, there wouldn't be any black people in America at all. There would not be one black soul. There wouldn't be any mixed people in America. There would be no one, because for Africa to have been populated and be 3 times the amount of African people of color that looks like you and me over there in that big vast area, because Africa is way bigger than America. And I'm not talking about if you put Canada, Mexico, and South America, because then they're about roughly the same size. But just in America itself, because between America and South America, not Central and not Canada, Canada is where they ran to escape slavery. Mexico is where they ran to escape slavery, whether they were in South America or whether they were in North America. I understand that's how you have a little bit darker Mexicans. Now, if you take all the black people out of America, every single one of them, mixed people included, you would have had to do that. You'd have had to scoop up everybody. Not impossible, highly improbable, highly illogical, but not impossible. But they would have to scoop up every black person in America from start to finish, from the East Coast to the West Coast, to ensure that the continent of Africa would have more people who look like you and me over there. All right? Now, what you choose to believe and what is actual fact is that they would have had to do that. They would have had to take out every fucking person who is black in America. Everyone. So get off of that bullshit about blacks being the aboriginals to America. Alright? You need to get off that bullshit and you need to get off of it now. You're seriously mentally damaging yourself and you need to get the fuck over it. Now, as far as native culture, for those Afrocentrics that are going around thinking that they are the actual aboriginals of America, where's your stories about Coyote? Where's your stories about Bigfoot? Where's your stories about the bear chasing the tribe to the mountain as it rose up to save them? Where are your stories? Y'all don't have them on your pages, but you do dance around in feathers. You do talk about residential schools and the children that don't make it and how it's supposed to be a training camp to teach Native Americans to be like you. Now, I will say this one more time with my full chest, and I only have 10 toes, but I'll dig them deep in the sand, and I'll say it with my full chest. The slave trade did not work in reverse. As illogical and as improbable as that is, they would have had to take every black person off of the continent of the United States of America. Every black person. From north to south, from east to west, for Africa to have the population of people that it has. And if you don't believe that, then either you can't count or I'm a fucking ton better at math than I thought I was. Which I am not. I am very bad at math, but I can calculate the possibility of this happening in reverse to be a negative 0. There is no negative zeros. There's only negative 1 and positive 1, and you go as far back to infinity in the negatives as you can go as far to infinity in the positives. But the probability of them taking every black person out of America to populate Africa, since y'all don't think that Africa is the motherland, the probability is far and few between of that fucking actually happening. That is all I have to say on that. Stop destroying black and indigenous cultures. If you're mixed like me, if you are part native and part black, that is fine. And there's nothing wrong with reconnecting to both parts of you. I have no desire to go to Africa. I have no desire to reconnect with Africa. I know that I am part black, and no one has to teach me that. I've had to fight to prove that to black people. Where now, because of this bullshit, now I have to fight to prove my indigeneity to native people. So you see the rock and the hard place that I'm in when I look at fucking TikTok. Alright? It's fucking bullshit. It needs to fucking stop. And to all you Afrocentrics out there that this may come across, fuck you. Because you have fucked up my goddamn life on my reconnecting journey. You have made it 10 times harder for me, because I am part black, to now be able to reconnect with Native Americans, because they're going to think that I'm one of you. So thank you for fucking up my life. and to everybody on TikTok and Instagram and here on YouTube that I've just offended with the big F bomb, I do apologize. But to the Afrocentrics, I take none of those fucks back. You can have every fuck that I can fucking come up with because you're fucking up the life, not just for me, but for other mixed natives who are trying to get back to their native roots because they are also, like me and like some of you, who are too ignorant to realize that you could still be possibly native and be black at the same fucking time. Now, I know I will never be white, but I know that I have black and native. And I want to reclaim some of my native heritage. The acknowledgement is all I really fucking need. I don't need to be re-enrolled. But if they will enroll me, if they will have me, I will gladly join them. But it won't be for like greedy purposes. If anything, it would be so I can reconnect and learn the shit that my great grandmother didn't teach me. Learn the shit that my grandmother didn't teach me. Outside of, you're gonna eat this fucking corn. That being said, I am Echo Frank Grey Wolf, aka James Wolf Jr. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. Be seeing